What's going on, people? Good afternoon. Welcome to United View. We said we'll keep you updated across all of the latest takeover updates, and that is what has happened. There has been updates throughout this afternoon from when me and Owen were speaking this morning. For those of you saying where is FIFA, we did say this morning there wouldn't be any FIFA today. There is going to be a Flex and KG show tonight at 6 p.m. But in the meantime, there's no dressing this up. We said be cautious. Don't think that it's 100% true. It's definitely not done. And lo and behold, we have got reports of fake news, and not just reports from fake news from domestic journalists who are hating on Qatar. We've got reports of fake news from Sheikh Jassim, basically.
Yeah, this is really interesting. So in addition to the more, like we spoke about earlier on, the domestic journalists saying, nothing's really changed that much. They still haven't heard anything. It's a wait and see. They're still optimistic. The source of, I guess, the controversy, or source from the excitement, actually, really, from the newspaper in question, that being Al Watan, which is a newspaper based in Doha in Qatar, seemingly, and I use the word now, seemingly owned by Sheikh Jassim's father. While the editor in question has come out this afternoon and provided more clarification on their report, which, it must be said, this morning was still pinned on their Twitter account, suggesting that they were still very happy with that story. But the editor in question has come out and said the following, and I quote, "For more clarification, contrary to certain media and social media reports overnight, Al Watan is not owned by Hamid bin Jassim bin Jabbar Al Thani." And Al Watan's media report yesterday, speculating about possible movement in the Manchester United takeover process, was based on international media reports, as stated in the article itself, and with such news widely circulating periodically in international media for many months. So certainly, Flex, bit of a big backtrack on that one from the editor in question here. First of all, saying that despite, and again, this wasn't misinformation because it was there, and
he's saying it was actually in there. Yeah,
lots of people were saying that this newspaper, this outlet, is owned by Sheikh Jassim's father. He's saying it's not owned by Sheikh Jassim's father, and also they're saying that it wasn't really insider sources. This was us speculating based off all of the international media reporting that we have seen also as well and spoken about, which again is pretty sort of suspect at best. In addition to that, today, from again quite a few outlets from PA Media, they're saying that Sheikh Jassim is still waiting to hear whether his fifth and final offer for Manchester United has been successful, according to sources close to the Qatari. Sheikh Jassim's camp described those reports as pure speculation and say they remain in a, quote, holding pattern. They expect the next step will be for the United board to meet and consider both bids, but the Qataris are eager to get the deal done with the summer transfer window about to kick into full gear. In addition to that, Ben Jacobs has now done a thread. It's funny that once all of this stuff comes out, everyone then starts tweeting. They're like, well, now we're ready. Now we're ready. Yeah. He has said, lots asking about reports Qatar has won the Manchester United sale process. Understanding remains no group has been informed yet. If they are successful, expectation is the window will open without any formal announcement or clarity. The window opens tomorrow, just for a bit of an update on that. So nothing is expected in the next few days. Those close to the 9-2 Foundation are dismissive of reports saying they have won. Truth is, they are still waiting to hear. Same for Ineos. The sale process is entering its final stages, but both groups essentially being prepped to have a deal ready to sign ahead of any potential green light. Both offers are already executionable. So, Flex, the next step in this is that, I mean, if it was just the domestic journalists coming out saying, nothing's really changed, which we kind of expected, that would be one thing. But I think the real significant thing here is that the source that this came from is now not only distancing themselves from the report, but they're actually distancing the family from the report as well, saying he doesn't even own the paper as well. What do you think about this? It's just another step, another twist or turn in this takeover saga / drama.
Guys, we've been done. We've been done. Let's just all, some more than others, late last night, what were we saying? What were we reiterating so many times? And even this morning, when some people were like, I feel Qatari, oh my God, this is happening. And, oh, do you reckon we'll get Mbappe? We literally said, listen, this does not mean it's true. We even said, quote, just because it's the Qatari media saying it, it doesn't mean it's true. we were speaking about it as a moment of significance because they haven't spoken before. And actually, now their track record is crap because the one time they did speak, even the family said, don't know who you are. Like, let's say this as it is. We've been had. We have. I do think it was the right thing to talk about it and go as big as we all did because it was significant and what was being claimed was massive. It's just that it was a lie. Like, it was a lie that his dad owns. The bit that made it quite significant, which is that his dad owns the paper, it was a lie.
And they're saying, but what was strange with that is if you did search the outlet in question, Al Watan, it did say that he was. So unless that was old news or fake news, and maybe this comes into it as well because so little is known from on our part in Europe and with the domestic journalists, so little is known about, say, Qatari media. When you see online this and when you see it's owned by the father and you go, well, let me double check, and everyone was doing their due diligence last night, you go, wow, this does feel significant. It certainly feels like this editor and the outlet in question has had a very sort of, you need to fix this because not only are people talking about it and it's being covered, but it's affecting the stock price at this point. As we mentioned earlier on, big major global media outlets, CNBC, etc., BBC, we're all covering it this morning from the point of view of it spiked the stock. Something's going on with the stock price because of these rumors and these reports. So they've clearly been told, hey, you need to fix this. And also as well, the guy in question, the what people had thought was the owner of the outlet, Sheikh Jassim's father, is a former, was he prime minister of Qatar? So you don't want to sully his name if he's not actually involved in it too. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, he owns it. No, I don't. That's just a big deal in that country. It's like saying our prime minister owns this paper and they go, no, he didn't. And you go, oh, that'd be a big deal.
It's a lie then. Yeah, it is a big deal. Someone's lied. But, nobody gets to take the moral high ground on this in terms of, we didn't talk about it. You've been done. Because there'll probably be some now who try and do that whole, oh, yeah, we didn't really talk about it. Or everybody did this. Yeah, let's have that right. To the point where, the information was significant and we had to talk about it. What we have all stressed, though, like I said, and this is exactly why we said it, it didn't mean it was happening. It never did. It never did mean it was happening. And that was the crusher where, even this morning I said I wouldn't be surprised if Sir Jim Ratcliffe owns the club. And some people went, oh, Flexer, come on, let us enjoy. It can still go either way. But basically what the message is as you were. Because even, let's have it right, even the stock market's been done. This is proof. This is proof that rumors can catch fire. They can go. They can pick up traction. And they can even translate into real money, into real life stocks and shares.
It added $1 billion in terms of value to Manchester United overnight based on a rumor.
So what it shows you is how big this is. It shows you how big Man United is, but also it shows you that lies can get a snowball effect quite quickly on social media, in this instance, Twitter. And this is why the credibility of Twitter a lot of the time is questioned by mainstream, because it just picked up, it started trending. The report itself was there for quite a few hours. Remember, we were saying it's been there for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Then it just started gathering. And everyone got done by it.
Is it lies or is it misinterpretation? Maybe that's the more appropriate word here, because they're saying, we were just basing it off international media reports and we were kind of speculating. But in terms of the language they used was very strong, wasn't it? Saying, an announcement is coming soon.
Yeah,
but I suppose
that's a lie. You can't get that. That's a lie.
But in terms of the translation could easily be, an announcement could be coming soon. That's only a difference of a word there, isn't it?
Maybe.
If you take a word out, because it could easily be said, look, it was mistranslated or was misinterpreted and it got out of control. One thing I would say about that, though, is I would say then, okay, if it got what you perceive to be out of control or misinterpreted, mistranslated, however you want to say it, why did you then pin it to your Twitter account? Why did it take this long?
That's why I'm not believing none of that. I'm not you have to see this for what it is. We've been done. And this is what it is when we're desperate for the news. And I'm not faulting any of you and faulting us here at the channel as well for covering last night and going live. That's what this is. If we're all in to bring you this news and the latest developments / twists and turns, well, there was a twist and there was a turn.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And there was real life ramifications of it as well.
Real life ramifications on the stock exchange. So absolutely, it was the right thing to do to talk about this. But this proves why it was the right thing to also say and stress. How many times did we stress it in that moment? Don't take this as concrete because this is Qatar. You know, like,
well, and also as well, again, if you're a Qatari outlet, whether or not, you know, it's owned by Sheikh Jassim's father, as I mentioned, his father is a very, very high profile figure in Qatar. So I'm sure today there would have been phone calls saying, particularly if he doesn't own that paper, which is what they're saying, they'd pick up the phone and say, why are you saying that this? And why is it being said that, you know, I own it? Not that they ever said that he owned it, but there's no doubt that there would have been at least some form of communication going like, can you just like explain this? Because, you know, Western media is going crazy right now. Yeah, and also, exactly. I said it's become bigger than Twitter rumor, hasn't it? It's turned into, again, value on the stock exchange and that could possibly affect a United takeover that his son's doing anyway. I can imagine if your son is trying to purchase Manchester United and then a rumor or an analysis or a misinterpretation based on a paper that they're saying you own adds price on to the asset he's trying to buy, that's chaos. You know, and you want to rectify that pretty quickly. I mean, even now, just looking at the market or the share price for United, it's still up from yesterday.
Yeah,
so
and it's
still already had a reaction, really. It closed at $20.13. Now it's still up to $23.70, as was reported earlier by Faisal Islam, the BBC economics reporter. He was saying that, you know, if it was an actual takeover, we'd be looking at closer to 30. But as far as, you know, plummeting, not yet, but we'll wait and see what happens when trading opens, I guess, in about an hour and a bit, because with this news of them saying, actually, we were just kind of doing a bit of analysis and people got too excited, maybe it goes back down to 20. I don't know. Or some people, we said the word fake news is on the thumb. Some people still might be like, I don't believe it anyway.
Yeah, I'm gambling.
They'll say, you can backtrack all you want. I see something in it. You know, something happened. So people will be looking at it still both ways. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I feel... And also, this is important to remember that this doesn't mean it's not happening as well. The same way how we, you know, Sheikh Jassim didn't come out and say, you know, it's fake news. I'm not even in the running. We've been told that it's not us. And then it's just as you were. Both sides have equal opportunity to gain control of the club. That's all it is. Like Ben Jacobs is saying, to be fair to him, as far as I know, it's as you are, and there's nothing imminent. There's nothing in terms of nothing significant in the coming days. I think it was, he said, you know, i.e., what days it say? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know, let's say a few days, which would take us to Friday. He's basically saying that don't expect anything this week. As the transfer window opens, it's scheduled that Manchester United still won't know who their owners are as the transfer window opens. That's been from Ben Jacobs, who's been quite credible. Now, again, you have to just decipher all the different news that you hear. And essentially, this is why people are right when they say this. Until it's done, nobody knows.
No.
It is as simple as that. We can follow the twists and turns. And sometimes it makes it quite exciting doing it. It makes it stressful. It makes it tedious. It makes it, you know...
draining.
It makes it draining. But also when there's a little bit of optimism, you want to get involved because it's the news we want to hear. But this just literally spells out why you can't follow just what the media say until it's unanimous / official from so many people that it's you know, like not one person's saying something different. They're all on the same wavelength, which will happen when it's time.
And this is why people have become quite disengaged with this entire takeover process too, because, you know, so many times, this isn't the first time maybe something on this scale has happened, but it's not the first time that we've had something come through and then the opposite be put out there within the space of hours, which is the case again. It's a case of bids have gone in, they haven't gone in. Sergeant Ratcliffe's leading the race. Nobody's leading the race. There's an ultimatum Friday. Actually, it's not really that much of an ultimatum. Sheikh seems disengaged, but he's not really disengaged. He's talking. Did you talk to Al Khalifi? Yeah, he's talking to Al Khalifi. Actually, well, he said he didn't want to be a middleman, so it's not that much. Qatar have won. No, they haven't won. Well, the paper's owned by his father. No, the paper's not owned by his father. I mean, I've just listed that. That's off the top of my head. So we've already seen and heard multiple instances so far of stuff being put out there, and then the opposite happens. So I can totally understand why people are very, very disengaged with this whole process, because not only is it tedious and time consuming, and it's been going on for 7 months, but we've heard every possibility at this point. What else can happen that we haven't heard or expected? Now, let's be honest.
Well, you say that, Owen. You say that.
I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. Something else, I would say. I would say something else. Don't know what that is, because when this broke at whenever it did last night at 11 p.m, when we kind of went with it and everyone else did, was we thinking by 1:18 that it'll be that whole thing would just disintegrate to nothing? Because there's some people in the chat saying that it's not lies, Flex, it's not lies. And like Owen said, maybe some bits, again, sifting for gold, etc., etc. Some bits were true, some bits were not. But come on, guys, we've been had with that. I think it's safe to say. It doesn't mean Qatari's out the race. Doesn't mean that, you know, the fact that a fifth bid's gone in and Al Nasser, has been, you know, talking to the Glazers. Doesn't mean these things haven't helped swing into Qatar's favor. You know, I'm not taking away any of that. But in terms of that closing statement yesterday of congratulations and announcements soon, it's just not the case. It isn't. It isn't.
Do you not think today there was a phone call from like a senior sort of Qatari figure going, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You know, yes, you can say, oh, we were only sort of doing a bit of analysis on other reports, but they're going, you have to clarify this, because you could be jeopardizing something going on here. Because if Rain or the Glazers get like pissed off going, oh, who's talking then? Who's talking? Maybe it was close. You know, maybe there was a lot more element of truth to it. You know, maybe the thing that wasn't true was maybe the ownership of the outlet itself and being his father. But maybe there was a lot, because they said there's optimism. Something's changed over 7 days. I'm sure of it, that someone would have picked up the phone or sent an email or a message this morning going, clarify this, because, you know,
we can't have that out there.
Exactly. Good. And it's going again, it's having already ramifications, you know. And also, you know, what if suddenly the Glazers go, we just got $1 billion more value on the club last night. Maybe we want another bid. Maybe we want a bit more.
Earlier, or just a couple of minutes ago, BBC economics editor, who we've been talking about a lot, Faisal Islam, has explained why share price rising is looked upon as good news for Sheikh Jassim. But it's basically from the tweet from last night. He said, to explain, the reason share price is a gauge of perceived likelihood of Qatar victory is Jassim's bid is for 100% of shares and will pay out on New York listed shares at takeover price. Ineos's bid is believed to be focused on the Glazer shares alone, listed shares, which is why they're getting pissed off with the Glazers as well. So actually, that isn't news. That's Manchester Evening News just kind of regurgitating stuff from last night. I just think it's an important reminder. I wouldn't say lesson to learn, reminder. I mean, someone said there in the chat there, but what about the stock price, Flex? In my opinion, like I said, they've been had as well. This is, you know, it's about gambling, isn't it? It's no different to going into the bookies and you think something's going to happen, so you act. That's what this is. They've acted off the same noises, the same social media, maybe a few different sources. If, you know, they're big rich people, billionaires who know more people in the game or whatever, maybe they've acted a little bit off that. But essentially, they've acted off the same rumor that we've all acted off, just that they've parted ways with money for it. Big money, but they still might be bullish about it. They still might be like, I'm sticking with it.
It doesn't matter. You know that. Yeah. Okay, that was maybe that wasn't completely accurate, and this is, I think, what some fans might think is that, well, okay, maybe that wasn't totally accurate, but it doesn't mean there's nothing there. It doesn't mean there's nothing going on at this point. Okay, it's maybe not an announcement coming soon, which I think was really took people by surprise. The announcement coming soon, and the fact that it was allegedly owned by his dad. That was the two things, wasn't it? And really, the latter part was the key thing. Going, well, look, if it's owned by his father, where do you think they got the information from? And I was talking to KG on the phone earlier, saying that if indeed it was owned by his father, which they're stressing now it's not, you'd run it up the flagpole, wouldn't you, before you go to publish? You know, before you go to print or before you publish it online or whatever, you'd put up, you'd say, are we definitely sure we want to run with this? Because the person who owns this might not be too happy if that's not true. And then today they've had to say, one, we weren't even really saying that, and two, he doesn't own it. So those two key pillars in sort of the real sort of credibility of this initial report have kind of evaporated, and it's just become speculation. And now we're back at where we were a few days ago.
As you were, mate. Just continue as you were. There's no change, which is insane after what's happened over the last 24 hours.
But that's kind of the process in this. Every single time we think we're a step forward,
same time we said Jim Ratcliffe.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the preferred bidder. He's comfortable. He's been in good talks with the Glazers for ages, and Sheikh Jassim's been in the dark because of mystique around him. Bollocks. Like, isn't it? Like, it is. What was also significant last night was Faisal Islam, to be fair.
Yeah.
That he was kind of co-signing it, and he was using those reports as a way to validify. Validify is not a word, is it? No, validate is, validate. But validify is not, is it?
Validate or verify.
Or verify. There you go. He was using it as a way to verify what he'd been saying, or kind of co-sign what he'd been saying in a previous podcast, and linking that back to that to say, I was saying that, basically. And he's been had as well, really.
Yeah. But he's been clever because he's coming at from a stock price point of view, and his point is still, the stock price went up.
Yeah,
because that's numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get your super chats read out, guys. CJK Digital says, was this just a ploy to raise the value of Man United? Everything's the fact that the Glazers are taking this long, day by day, week by week, month by month, is all a ploy. 1,000,000%. That's why we're still here. What is it? 5 months later, Owen? 6 months? How long is it?
It was in November. We are in June. It's 7 months.
Jesus. That's why we're 7 months down the line, CJK. That is why, because it is all a ploy from the Glazers to raise the value. So this one in particular, potentially, but clearly Sheikh Jassim's locked in with his 5th bid, and he's going nowhere, and he's waiting for news anyway. The guy was supposed to walk away last week from this bid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and he hasn't done that, has he? Ahmed says, not been had. They simply announced it too soon and want to avoid repercussion due to NDA. So Ahmed's going with the other theory, slightly left, sort of saying that, no, it isn't fake news. It isn't lies. It's just that they jumped the gun a little bit. So interesting to see Ahmed's theory there. Bruno says, I'll say there's no smoke without fire. So he's saying something must have gone on, Bruno's saying. And Hao Han says pre-market still close to 24, still close to $24. May not be a pure lie, which we've just saying. Some people are going to follow it through. Some people say, listen, I've got my sources, I believe it. I'm backing this. Or some people go, well, whether it's a lie or not, I'm going the full way to see how this thing goes because I can afford to, you know. So yeah, that because I think the fact that the stock market even did that with serious sources, i.e., the horse's mouth actually saying that is fake news, that just shows you that the stock market can be used as a measuring stick to somewhat extent, but it can't be used as the full 9 yards. It can't.
No, which is what Faisal Islam was saying, where he was saying that it's an indication of the rumor, and people possibly believe in the rumor. But he did say this morning or late last night, whenever it was, that if it was real accurate, proper info, it'd have probably gone a bit higher. The fact that it went up and then sort of gone, it's kind of the real life reaction to it is everyone gets excited and then they go, how true is it? I'm not sure how true it is. I'm not sure. That's basically the reflection of it, really.
Yeah. Validify was correct, Flex. I don't know about that. Owen, can we get the thesaurus up? I'd love it if I was right.
Validify.
I don't think it is it? Bit of Scrabble. Go on, Owen.
Validify.
Is it a word?
Validify is a software company based out of London.
Yeah, so it's not. I wasn't right.
I mean, validify, third person singular, simple present, validifies.
Yeah. Okay.
Validifying.
Oh, it's
To
nearly
validate.
kind of just. Yeah, I might lose that one.
I'm getting
I might lose
some weird dictionaries that I'm not sure how
Yeah,
real.
we need the proper English dictionary. You know, the proper one. Oxford Dictionary, that's it. Rakshane says, woke up this morning speaking Arabic. Strange that. I still believe 100%. Pick up to you, bro. And Freezer burnt peas. Freezer burnt peas. Oh, random name.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Which actually kind of does happen, doesn't it? What if the source is downplaying the sale? What if the source downplaying the sale is closer to United than the Sheikh? I.e., they just want to shit on what
Well,
the
no,
Sheikh's
there's
saying.
maybe sort of saying that, and this was kind of something we did talk about earlier on and last night too, is that whenever these reports sort of come out, you question, okay, what side of things are they coming from? Are they coming from, as they mentioned, the Rain point of view, the Glazers' point of view, Ineos's point of view, or Sheikh Jassim's point of view? The reports, maybe not so much on the whole backtracking, but the reports from maybe Ben Jacobs or PA Media today saying, no, they've dismissed that, because they did say that was sources close to the Qataris, didn't they? Saying that, those, what was the actual language that they used? They're still waiting if the bid has been successful, according to sources close to the Qatari. And they also said that they described that this is it. Sheikh Jassim's camp described those reports as pure speculation, which is exactly what the Qatari media has described them as. We were speculating based off international reports. So they are both saying it's speculation, and they say that they're in a holding pattern. Which is an interesting terminology as well. We're in a holding pattern, which basically means that we're waiting.
We're on hold.
We're ready
to get back for us.
We're ready to pounce. We're in a holding pattern, so we're still waiting. And the fact that they're still playing this waiting game, they're still waiting for feedback from Rain or the Glazers. We're talking about when can this get done. Forget those reports saying we might hear something this week, next week.
100%.
We're not hearing anything this week. We're not hearing anything this week now.
No, we're not. No.
Too much news for 1 week.
Exactly. Vicky says NDA, no one will know until it's announced. And it is a little bit like that it's got that feel of the real piece of information, the real breaking story / news will be when they're allowed to say it. And then when they're allowed to say it, whether it's a Jim or Sheikh Jassim, honestly, the media will know. The media will know. And it will all be unanimous. It will all be across the board. Like I said, when we're going to sign a player and you just know it's done because everyone's saying it at the same time. You got Here We Go. You got, bloody David Ornstein. It's gone. It's happening. And then you get the people who really do check their sources before they say anything, like a Simon Stone. If Simon Stone says Manchester United are going to sign a player, it's usually he's like the 8th person to say it because it's 1,000,000% true. Because he doesn't just come to the forefront and say those things. So that is the latest in terms of the backtracking. There has been a little bit of transfer news as we've been live regarding one Kim Min Jae.
Kim
Min Jae. And it's coming out of Italy from an Italian outlet out there. Owen, who is it and what are they saying? Considering when it's foreign media, we've just been burnt here. Yeah,
I know. Il Mattino, which I guess is a Napoli-based outlet, or a Naples-based outlet rather, is saying that Kim Min Jae is, quote, sure to join Manchester United. He will pay his 60 million euros release clause. From July 1st, he will be at Manchester United. The defender has, quote, accepted United's contract offer worth £9 million per year. Again, that's coming from reports out of Naples. Take it with a pinch of salt. It was funny, actually, because I saw something the other day when Damash went on Sky, and a lot of the talk recently surrounding Kim Min Jae has been United have declared their interest to his representatives and his agents, and they all know that United want him. They've talked to his representatives, his agents, his intermediaries, etc. And then I saw this really weird discussion point of people online saying, typical United, typical monitoring, interest, no bid. And I went, they can't put in a bid. The release clause isn't active yet. It can only be active from July 1st. The bid if there is one, which I think we can all say there probably is going to be, is going to go in July 1st. That's what they're waiting for. It's almost a backwards transfer in the sense of they have to do all of the personal terms, all of the contract stuff loosely, because technically, are they even allowed to talk to Kim Min-jae at the moment? Probably not. They have to all do that first, and then they put the offer in, then they put the bid in, because also as well, it's key to point out that they've got 2 weeks to get that deal done. That release clause is only active for 2 weeks. United are not quick. They know they're not
They
quick.
need this time.
They know 2 weeks. That's a short period of time for us. You know, I'm not sure. So I would think they're doing all of that due diligence now. But we can't be naive, Flex, to think that we're going to be the only one to trigger that release clause, because it's a release clause. So at the same time, Newcastle might do it. PSG, they might do it. Sergio Ramos is gone. They're in the market for a defender. Who's to say that they don't go, bang, let's just trigger it, see what happens. And then any good representative or agent or agents or whoever can do, like in this takeover, play one side against the other, and suddenly that 9 million per year maybe goes to 10. Maybe goes to 10.5, something like that.
Drive the price up. That's what they want to do. That's the aim of the game. You know what I mean? That's the aim of the game. Look, it's coming out there from the Italian source, and you know what? Because it's quite telling what's just happened, just only today. I ain't jumping on the whole. Well, you know what? It's coming out a report from Italy, so you know he's sure to join us. He's going to be a Man United player from July the 1st. I ain't getting involved in that. What we do know is that we are in for him. We 100% know that, and we know that there's interest. That's all we know. Would you
be shocked if we don't get him? Are you shocked by anything at this point?
That's what I was going to say. I'm a bit numb to the word shocked and transfers and sale process, because, like I keep going back to, I was shocked at the Cody Gakpo thing. He was ours. He was ours. There's no dressing it up. Or we thought he was. Every report said he was. So
and he wanted to come to United as well.
Exactly.
You know?
So I'm not shocked. No, nothing's going to shock me. If we don't get Kim Min-jae, I wouldn't be like, I can't believe we didn't get him, because I've just learned that last January what happens. Learned that with Frankie de Jong. Like, we've got enough examples recently. Just learned that today with the takeover, and just not just today with the takeover, in general with this takeover. Although that is all on the Glazers, and they're making it like that. This isn't a normal process for like transfers. This is them being greedy bastards. But in terms of me being shocked if we didn't get Kim Min-jae, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all.
At this rate, the only thing I think that would probably shock you is that if we sign Kylian Mbappe.
Oh, yeah, that would shock me. It would shock me if we signed Kane, actually.
That would be shocking, yeah, I think at this point, given the fact that it's gone really quiet and everyone kind of knows, well, he's probably going to stay at Spurs. He's definitely not coming to United because Daniel Levy don't want to sell him to United. And even the Real Madrid thing's kind of gone a bit quiet now, because when Kylian Mbappe is on the market, it's going to be Mbappe that they're going for. But I don't know. I mean, the Mbappe one, I'm sure you and KG are going to discuss it later on the Flex and KG show live at 6 p.m. That would maybe be one I'd be shocked by. But I kind of agree with you. At this stage with United, it takes a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, nothing shocks us anymore. Shahil says, Flex, I've seen a report on the stock exchange app where Sheikh Jassim was described as the winner and the announcement was going to be made soon. So confusing. Shahil, don't believe it, mate. Just keep your seatbelt buckled up and just be on the ride with all of us, mate. Because
would you say batten down the hatches?
Batten down the hatches, bite down on the gum shield.
Batten down the hatches.
Yes. 100%. Batten them down and take what's about to be on its way, because they're coming from all angles, mate. So, Shahil, I know you've probably seen that where you said you've seen it, but nah. I'm not saying don't believe that it could be Qatar, by the way. This isn't, I need to stress this. This isn't lose faith in Sheikh Jassim and Qatar winning this bid. Oh, no. That is not this. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying, based off of yesterday's report, don't think that he's won and that he's going to announce it anytime soon. That's what we're saying. Don't lose hope. We can't lose hope. We have to keep believing that it could be Sheikh Jassim. Believe. And Reg Shah says, Flex, knowing what's your percentages of Sheikh Jassim or Ratcliffe taking over?
No, that is the question, isn't it?
I'm going to say I think
Want me to go first?
55 for yeah, go on. Yeah, you go first. Go on.
You're going to go that close. I was going to say 60-40.
I was thinking that at the
Sir Jim
top.
Ratcliffe.
Yeah. I was thinking that at the top, but I just thought I think it feels a bit closer. I'm going to go 55% Sheikh Jassim.
I'm going to say 60-40 just because I think 70-30 is just a bit too high. Even though I do think that Sheikh Jassim is going to win the race. I do think that's my prediction. But as we've said, I wouldn't be shocked by anything. And I also wouldn't rule out Ineos maybe seeing that the 9-2 Foundation are just starting to sneak ahead and their offer somehow changes again. Because we don't know full percentages. We know that obviously initially it was 69, which is what the Glazers, their majority control. Then we heard it was for the same amount of money, but for less. I don't know if they've got any more room to go down. So if let's say they were going for 60, I wouldn't rule out them going, okay, 52, 52%, same price. Because then technically that values United up more once again.
More, yeah, because they're taking less of the pie for the same money. Yeah,
and then it's upon the Glazers, like the reports were saying last night and a couple of days ago, that then it's upon the Glazers of what do you want to do? Do you want to have any involvement or do you want to have no involvement? Do you want cash now or do you want a little bit of cash now and more cash later? And that's the crux of it. And maybe again, they might not have even made their mind up when it comes to that. Some people believe that's the case still.
I don't think they have. They're still trying to get. I think Sheikh Jassim might even need a sixth bid. Honestly, David Naheen says, "Big up, gentlemen! With the exciting news, we all know someone accidentally pressed send on the sale. One player we need is a striker, PSG player. 1 year left." I mean, very optimistic from David, who's been a long time member of the channel. Big up to you, bro. Spiky Mikey says, "Hi from Australia, lads. Can't wait for this sale. If Jassim got the money and knows how much the scum want, how come this ain't over? Love the content." Well, you know, Qatar have always been a big up to you, man. Appreciate that, Spiky Mikey. They've always been straight, haven't they, on that, in terms of not overpaying or not just going straight in there, and giving into whatever the Glazers' demands are. At the same time, it has been a drawn-out process because of that, but also they're still here 5 bids later. So, to answer your question, I think it's just business posturing between you know, big, powerful, wealthy businesses, people. You know, that's why I think they haven't just paid it. You know, I know a lot of us will be like, "Listen, they're rich enough, just pay it, just up it by 500 mil, which would make it 6 bill or something like that. Just pay it." But it's just not how business works, is it, at this level?
Well, no, but at the same time, nobody thought this was going to last this long. I mean, they've all said, I mean, and this goes back to, you know, the reports, what do you choose to believe? No one can forget that they said that this could be done by Easter. You can't overlook that. You can't overlook, as I mentioned, how we've seen stuff reported and then the opposite be reported. Yes, this has happened to us. Well, it happened over the last the day or so with the Qatari media outlet, and then today backtracking. But let's not act like we haven't seen backtracks from everyone involved in this process too.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you on that. And just quickly, Sheikh Jassim, not Sheikh Jassim, Ben Jacobs has just been talking about the Kylian Mbappe situation. And he says Kylian Mbappe issued a statement to AFP saying PSG were verbally informed, quote, on July the 15th, 2022, that he would not trigger a 1-year extension until 2025. The only aim of the letter informing PSG on Monday, yesterday, was to confirm what had already been spoken about. So he's, in Kylian Mbappe's statement, says, "This ain't news. Don't try and paint me as the bad guy. I told you back in July last year that I ain't triggering that 1 year. I already made my mind up. So you knew." Kylian Mbappe and his entourage confirmed that this matter has not been discussed since over the course of the year, except a fortnight ago to announce the sending of the letter. No potential contract extension has been mentioned. After maintaining publicly in recent weeks that he would be a PSG player next season, Kylian Mbappe has not asked to leave this summer and has just confirmed to the club that he wouldn't be activating the extra year. This is the actual letter. This is quotes. Mbappe regrets that the letter was circulated in the media and that these exchanges were made public with the sole aim of damaging their image and the discussions with the club. And then away from the quotes, he says, interestingly, the letter sent to PSG was dated July 2022, July 15th, which ties in with Mbappe's statement suggesting he verbally told the club last year. And he's put credit to Martin Ziegler for spotting this, who's a reporter from the Times. There's more on the Ben Jacobs phrase. It's a Ben Jacobs special, to be fair. But basically, cut a long story short with that is Mbappe saying, sling your hook. I never stop trying to paint me the bad guy like I'm just dropping this on you now. I told you in July last year that I ain't signing. And the whole reason me giving you the letter is not to leave this year. It's just to formally let you know that's what it is. But he's smart because obviously something now has to happen because you are in the summer. And if you don't do anything now, i.e. sign a new deal or get sold, you can go for free next year. So,
and also from PSG's point of view, they might say, okay, you told us that last year, but is there any coincidence that you sort of reaffirm this mere days after Karim Benzema left Real Madrid?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Exactly.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
So
Again,
watch this space.
Yeah, timing's everything in football when it comes to that one. And it's funny because I don't think coming into this summer was anyone saying that there was going to be a Kylian Mbappe transfer.
Yes,
drama?
they was. Yes, and his name is Marcel. His name is Marcel. Not even and to credit Marcel, not even coming into this window, he said it like mid-season for just no reason. So yes, I believe, Fleck, this club will have Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe. They're world-class players, and we will win the Champions League, and we will win the
both.
Well, he said we'll get Kane, and then in another thing, he goes, Mbappe will end up here. I don't know if he says when, but he said we will, yeah.
Because if he said both, yeah. Is it, if you're not, well, hypothetically, at the end of next summer, that could be real.
Listen, I'll tell you now.
Hypothetically, that could be real. It's a small percentage.
Small percentage. But I'll tell you now in front of 1,900 people.
If that happens.
This, right, we are not getting, by the end of next season, we will not have Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe playing in our football team.
I will go one further and say at the end of next summer's transfer window, if we have Kylian Mbappe and Harry Kane as Manchester United players, this luscious hair of head that I have, it's going. I'm going full Ten Hag settings. I will shave my head bald. Okay, if we have Kylian Mbappe and Harry Kane as Manchester United players by the end of next summer's transfer window, you can clip it.
100%, because it's not happened. Imagine it happened in this transfer window, then you'd lose as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would. But that
but
really ain't happening. That really ain't happening. Like next summer, the way it would go would be, Mbappe comes this year. Sheikh Jassim, the way that would have to happen is Sheikh Jassim buys United, he then buys Mbappe, and then next summer on a free, Harry Kane comes United.
Yeah, that's the only way.
And then my hair is on the floor.
Yeah. Naveed says, no, we cannot afford another bidding war. Too late. Yeah, agreed with that. So that's your latest update, guys. Middle of the day. Happy afternoon. Happy dreams been crushed day. But no, listen, it's as you were with the takeover. Last night's stuff basically has been diminished. It didn't mean we wasn't right to talk about it. It didn't mean that there weren't elements of truth in terms of they're still at the table. They're still bidding for Manchester United. But in terms of an announcement coming soon, in terms of Sheikh Jassim has been, labelled as the winner. Not true. Not true at this stage.
What do you think KG will think? Because I had a phone conversation with KG today, and you'll see this in this evening's Flex and KG show live at 6:00. He was very excited. And I'm not sure at this point if he knows this latest development. You know what he's like?
Yeah, I kind of spoke to him earlier, but he said, he was a bit busy. I don't think he knows fully the extent. But I think he'll still be like, oh, don't worry, it's going to be Qatari. Like, yeah, they fumbled the bag on this one. Like, yeah, someone spoke too soon, but it's going to be Qatar. Still got a feeling like it's still going to happen Thursday. He'll say that.
Yeah, Thursday. He's still
He'll
gonna say
stick. He'll
Thursday.
stick. I think he'll stick with his thing just because he's KG, isn't he? It ain't gonna happen.
But he's serious, G, at the moment.
He is.
He's serious. He doesn't want to joke around. He doesn't.
Yesterday was a
wants to talk
disgrace
serious.
and a cheat. What
It
he tried to
was.
do. So
It was. I couldn't believe it.
yeah. And Ahmed says the chairman of Al Watan's board is Mr. Abdullah bin Khalid Al Thani. I don't know what the significance of that is. Ahmed, is he related to Sheikh Jassim, or I don't know, but yeah, we've done a little bit of digging on that, and basically what has come out from that is that, you know, there was a lot missing from from that report yesterday. So yes, we will see you tonight, this evening, should I say, 6 p.m. live, and it's live with Flexing KG, myself and KG. It's been a while since we've done a live Flexing KG, so yeah, we'll see you then, guys. And smash a like on this video. Actually, we only got 320 likes. We're nearly at 2,000 people watching. So get up. I know I forgot to say that. So that's a bad one. Probably a bit too late to get up to 500 on the way out the door. But please do try. That'd be great. Smash a like on the way out and see how high we can get to. That is the challenge. Can you get to 500 on the way out the door?
Andy says, "Can you lads do a stock exchange watch along?" Could you imagine?
Oh my God, no!
It's gone up 24.
Yeah. Imagine that. And Andy didn't put any emojis. I think Andy's been deadly serious, by the way.
Yeah, can you? Members.
Yeah. Big up to you, Andy. But nah, I ain't got that in me, bro. I ain't got that in me. Take care, guys. We'll see you again this evening at 6. Take care. Peace.